I am in a reading slump right now, and I kind of feel like a failure. So, at the start of the month, the US had an election. If you're watching this, I assume you've heard about it, but we had an election, and though I expected the results, they've actually hit me a lot harder than I was expecting. I, very quickly after those results, was one of my friends who's like, all right, we gotta do everything we can to make the world a better place. We gotta form communities. We'll be okay. It seems really scary now, but we're gonna be okay. And I found I was the voice among my friends being like, you know what? We pick it up and we keep moving. We keep moving forward. We keep doing everything we can in our power to make the world a better place. And I thought I woke up the day after, I mourned for a day, and then I woke up the day after and be like, all right, time to take action. It's time to sign up for grassroots organizations. It's time to volunteer and make community wherever I can. And I was feeling really, really good about myself. But I have only read 2 books this month. I found that my kind of emotional place that was hit was my enjoyment of hobbies and the things I love to do. And since I make content about reading books, I found that I was really struggling to make content and to read my books. So I've really struggled. But I wanted to make this video today about dealing with slumps and how they can really affect you and what you can do to both try and get out of it, but also some additional advice. So this is just kind of my personal advice for slumps and everything to do with that. Nothing I'm saying has been doctor approved, nothing like that, but this is just what I generally advise for the slumps I get in and how I help myself kind of through those. Also, just because these things work for me doesn't necessarily mean they'll work for you. There's no perfect way to have a slump. So if you try all these things and find they don't work for you, I am sorry. I hope you can find something that really works for you. But if you do find something helpful from this, then excellent. But let's start with the fact that if you are a goal reader, kind of like me, if you're trying to complete a certain amount of books, if you're trying to read a certain amount every single day, whatever. If you're not meeting those goals because you're in a slump, like me right now, the best thing I can say for you is still do a little bit every day. If you really feel you can only take 5 minutes of reading every day, that's okay. You're still doing what you're trying to. You're still attempting to finish your goals, which is excellent. If you have to commute to work, then turn on an audiobook. And if that's all you can get to in a day, that is okay. And don't feel bad at being at this point where you're only able to read 5 minutes a day, whatever. It's where I've been for the entire month. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that I have only completed 2 or 3 books this month because of that slump. And the nature is that really stinks for me. I don't feel great about it. And I also feel I should say that 3 books for me, even though I feel that it might be bad, is someone else's whole year of reading. Which brings me to my next point. So my second piece of advice for dealing with slumps is to step away from comparison. That's never helpful to anyone. If you are sitting there going, oh man, I've only read 1 book this month, I normally read 5, that's still quite a bit. And if you've already set a goal and you're only doing the bare minimum, you're already gonna feel bad. So introducing a level of, oh, someone's reading better than me, whatever you want to say. Even talking about me, I sit here and I complain on the internet about, oh, I only read 10 books this month. And in reality, a lot of you can only do 10 books in 10 months, 10 books in a year. And so if I am introducing any extra insecurity, I do want to sincerely apologize for that. And please don't, just because I'm whining about this on the internet doesn't mean you have to feel bad about that. Any number of books is a great number of books, and I want you to know that. So the third and fourth pieces of advice have to do with kind of changing up your reading. My big recommendations most of the time are either go back to a comfort read or read something in a genre that you know you don't really take too seriously. So the third one being go back to a comfort read. If you read a series that you really enjoyed a year ago that you're interested in rereading, or if you have a childhood book that you know you lean on when you need comfort, that is an excellent way to kind of reinvigorate your love for reading. Finding something that you know you love to read can kind of set off that spark on reading again. So like a series that I am reading right now, I'm rereading The Lunar Chronicles, which I read for the first time last year. I decided to pick it back up after I've only read 3 books, and it's like a 7-book series, and I know I really enjoy it. So hopefully that's gonna do what I want it to do. And then that 4th piece of advice is kind of lean on genres you know you trust. So for me, that is romance and cozy mysteries. I never take them too seriously. I can read them very quickly and enjoy myself while I'm reading them. And honestly, sometimes it's fun to read just like a genre that you generally know you can trust. Just read a really bad book. Honestly, sometimes hate reading gets you back into reading. I know if I can lean on those genres, I can at least read through something quickly. And the faster I finish a book, I find the more I'm like, all right, let's move on to another one. Heck yeah. It's kind of an endless cycle of if you read a book slow, you don't want to read the next one, and so on. So pick up a genre that you know you trust, or pick up a comfort read. That's also just a really, really good way to do it. And then my final piece of advice for slumps is sometimes just to kind of live in it, just to take a break if you need one. This is something that I particularly really struggle with. That's okay, it happens. But if you honestly are finding that you're not enjoying something all of a sudden that you normally really enjoy, it probably doesn't have anything to do with the activity. And there are other stressors in life that can really affect. I mean, in my example, my country's elections have really affected my reading. And that happens, and that's okay. And sometimes you just need to take time to sit and take care of yourself. If all you can do is the bare minimum, making sure you're sleeping and eating, and you can't really focus on hobbies, that's okay. You should take the time you need to recover from whatever is causing that slump, whether it's just a lot of reading or something on the outside, and just kind of take the time to think on it and take care of yourself. Draw yourself a little bath, or watch your favorite movie, or something that doesn't require so much thinking maybe as reading, and take the time to take care of yourself. Basically, take a break if you need one, please, for the love of God. So I've already kind of come to terms with this month is going to be a slow month for me. I'm not going to read as much as I have in previous months because that's what a slump is. And a lot of it has more to do with the fact that the world feels dismal right now, rather than the fact that I don't enjoy what I'm doing, because I still definitely do. And making content is also something I just love so much, but I feel so demotivated, and that is okay. But I want you to remember that the definition of a slump is a low point in between 2 high points. You're not gonna be staying in a slump forever. It wouldn't be a slump if you were staying in it. There will be a point where it will be good times again. You will feel very confident in the activities you were doing. You'll feel good about yourself. I, in my scenario, will be reading a lot and enjoying what I'm reading. But it's also okay to take the time to wallow or grieve, or whatever word you want to use, or honestly just kind of hang out in that slump. Take a breath, take time to take care of yourself. If you just need to sit with your thoughts for a while, then you should do that. A slump won't last forever, but if it needs to last a while, if you haven't given yourself permission, maybe you can take permission from a stranger on the internet. It can take a while. You can take time and just wait it out if you need to. If you want to take actions to try and pull yourself out, that's also excellent, but please take time. Treat yourself kindly. Use patience. Slumps, with any activity, can hit us at any moment. And the nature of it is that's just being a human. It happens. And it doesn't make you a failure. I know I started the video like saying that, and maybe I'm saying this also because I need to hear it. And I want to say it for you too. You are not a failure just because you're in a slump. Whenever you feel better, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get ready to do your hobby that you enjoy again. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself. Take time whenever you need it. Whenever you're ready to return confidently, and I hope you can return happily. And I say this in every video, but for my readers specifically, whenever you're back to reading, go visit and support your local libraries. Take care of yourself. I will talk to you all next week. Goodbye.